What's up, Copy Squad? It's your boy Kyle Milligan coming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida. And today I want to talk about how to avoid looking like a chump copywriter. Recently, I put a post out on Facebook basically asking, hey man, who wants a job? I even reached out or posted on other people's walls, maybe one or two other people's walls, and said, I'm looking for people. So I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about the revelations I've had during this process and how to protect yourself from looking like a total chump to basically the big publishers and copy chiefs. So I want to talk about some of the experiences that I've had. And really it's happened because right now in front of me is a list, 5 lines long, 5 lines in my day planner with names to reach out to and ask them either to follow up on something that we've discussed already or to ask them for more information. And before I sit here and do this, I'm kind of like, oh my God, I mean, I'm happy to do this. I really would love to get some talented copywriters under me and start working on building my Copy Squad team here in Boca. But I was like, I shouldn't not want to do this so badly. And I think a lot of the reason is I've kind of gotten a bad taste in my mouth from going through this process. And let me explain what I mean. I put out the post that, hey, I'm looking for people. I'll take you from noob to good. Like I've said stuff like that. I said, you don't even have to have like a lot of experience. You just got to really want to learn. So one of the things that, apparently flood of emails, right? LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, my Gmail, I'm just getting all sorts of people hitting up. So I'm like, cool. Now here, let me tell you some of the tasks that I've asked for people to do in order to be considered. I have either asked, tell me a little bit about yourself. Why do you want this job? Why do you think you'd be a good fit for this job? I don't think I've ever asked one person for all 3. I think I've asked everybody for one of these 3 things. One guy asked for his books, and I'll talk about that guy in a little, his favorite books that he likes to read. But you would be astounded how many people have reached out to me, sent me these long messages saying, I'd do anything for this job. Like, please give me a shot, blah, blah, blah. And then I say, great, that sounds awesome. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about your experience or why you think you'd be a good fit? Silence. Like I've been waiting days for this response. And it's, let me just put it bluntly. You look like a chump. You look like a low commitment chump. Like you got super excited about the chance to get a job. You messaged a copy chief and then you're just like, I actually don't really feel like it anymore. And whether that's true or not, whether something came up, whatever, if you ghost at that step of the process, it comes across to the person you're speaking to as, okay, so this guy can't even like write up a few things that he's written or why he'd be a good fit or why he's even interested in this job specifically. Is he just cold emailing anyone who puts a job post out? So I want to say this, it's going to hurt some people's feelings. You look like a chump and I won't forget you. So I think that's important to note is that in this small world, this entirely small pond of financial publishers, where there's only a handful of publishers and a handful of chiefs, people in positions to hire, we kind of talk to each other. I will text someone that I've worked with at Agora Financial, or my publisher, Connor Lynch, is a copywriter in his past life, and he's worked with a bunch of freelance copywriters. And before, when someone reaches out to me, I say, hey, have you tried this guy? And he'll tell me that guy was a nightmare or stuff like that. We talk. I don't just hire people. I do due diligence. I ask around. I don't put it on Facebook that I'm asking about a person. I PM them. I say, will you vouch for this guy? Will you vet for this guy? Now, if you reach out to me and you ghost me as soon as I say, hey, tell me a little bit about yourself, I'm going to log you in as one of those. I was like, this dude doesn't have any follow through. This dude's not serious. This dude's not committed. And I think this is a silly live to have to do. It's like an emergency broadcast that I felt like I had to do because I've got so many names. And when I send that follow-up email, the response rate has been so painfully, like embarrassingly low. Like all you had to do, the most simple task. I didn't ask for a head. I've not yet asked anyone to write a headline or a lead. Some people, as I tell you about your experience, and I'm like, oh, hey, this is a really good fit for a marketing role. I don't think I have copy position or copy jobs for you right now. Would you be interested in getting your foot in the door for a marketing role? This is a level 2 thing where we've actually had 1 or 2 rounds, and then I send them to an interview and then they go dark, they ghost. So I've brought in my publisher and my marketing director and told them about you, and then you go ghost. That's way worse. So I think this is really simple stuff. I can't believe I'm making a live about this, but you would be shocked. I'm shocked. I'm doing this live because of how shocked I am. Like I am floored at the number of people who reached out and then zero follow through, right? So I don't know. I guess this is just me kind of complaining, but it's also a warning that if you're feeling like before you, like, I think this is what I want to say. You might think, oh, no harm, no foul. I just changed my mind. You might think, well, nothing lost. I just decided I didn't want it anymore. But that's not what the case is. I'm going to tell other people about you. I think that's very important, you know. Like you are, everything you do leaves like a trail of reputation and perception, right? And in copywriting, isn't that kind of what we're all about? Is painting the picture, creating the world building? Like, isn't that what we do? Is we mitigate and manage perception? So it just seems short-sighted. I think that's really important to say. So I just wanted to get out here, somewhat rant, but also say, hey man, if you're not serious, don't reach out to me, man. Like, if you're not going to check your email to see if I responded to you, or if I set an interview up for you or set people up to interview you, and you don't check your email to find out if they responded to you or get back in a timely fashion, I'm talking like days, when someone's like, hey, when's a good time for you to set up an interview? And days pass, it's no good, man. It makes you look bad, it makes you look like a chump, it makes you look like you don't have any commitment. It looks like you got excited. You jumped on a Facebook post where you thought, oh, I'm going to be rich or something like that. And you look like a chump. You look like an amateur. It's very important. So the whole point of this was I asked, I've been putting out feelers for job opportunities, copywriting projects, stuff like that. And when people started hitting me up, like I say, I got so many people to respond to. I've been asking them softball questions. Tell me about yourself. Why do you think you'd be a good fit? Why do you want this job? And one guy I asked to tell me his favorite books. And that guy is getting a follow-up from me today for sure, because he did a fantastic job. He answered like all the questions. It was such a well thought out, well put together email. But then a lot of people, when I just say, why do you want this job? Ghost me. And maybe in their brain, they think, oh, well, I mean, I just changed my mind. I don't want it. That's not necessarily where it ends. You think it's no harm, no foul. But no, I'll remember that. You're that guy who I took the time to respond to, and then you ghosted me. And if I hear, if someone says, hey, what do you think about so-and-so? I'm going to say, yeah, that guy has no follow-through. That guy's not serious. Avoid him. He couldn't put forth the effort to send me a response to my email. That's really important. Okay. So then it's really important that you realize it doesn't just kind of stop there. People in this itty bitty pond that we swim in, financial publishing, talk to each other. So that's all I wanted to say. If you want to join the Copy Squad, it's kylethewriter.com/squad. That's the Copy Squad inner circle where we break down sales letters bi-weekly. And next Tuesday, we'll have a conference call where everyone can come on, talk copy and stuff like that. That's all I've got for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please hit like and subscribe and all that stuff. That's it. I'm done. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. Copy Squad.